Powerful and provocative. Prophetic and practical. Informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on, let's talk about it. Showtime, showtime. The mind massage. We're gonna meditate, get our minds right, give people time to come in. I got Ashley and Jimmy. They are ready. We got a discussion ready for you all tonight. Definitely got a discussion ready for you all tonight. So let's get ready. Hold on. Let me put this link in the comment in the section for those that might want to jump on tonight. What's up, Jimmy?
How you doing?
Good. I talk again. Let me hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can. I can. I probably got to turn my computer up a little bit more though.
Okay.
Hey, what's up? What's up? If you're coming on now, share this link. What's up, Shantae? Share this link, please. Let's see if we can get us a good conversation going tonight. We got Shantae already on. I see somebody else is on. I got Jimmy on.
Hi, everybody. I hope y'all doing okay.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm going to bring Ashley on in a second. Bring Ashley on. Sure she'll be on in a second. Wow. Okay, let me run it back one more time. Like I said, I'm trying to wait on a few more people to jump in, and I'm also taking care of some business while I'm trying to come on at the same time. If everybody comes on, if y'all would share this. Like I said, we're going to be on for a while tonight so we can get this conversation going. Come on, where y'all at? Share this. Let's get this conversation started. All right. It's 10:04. We got about one more minute and we'll get started. We'll get started on this conversation. There she is.
Hey, Ashley.
Ashley said, forget her uniform tonight again.
Listen, I was just getting ready to send you a message and say, Then my shirt is in the washer, and I lost track of time, and so yeah.
You'll have your other one this week, so
I
you
know,
have
I
you
know, I
have,
know. I knew it was coming. I appreciate you,
and
but
they have
I will
different
take a
colors.
write up for being out of dress code. But in what is it? In honor of breast cancer awareness, I'm wearing a pink for the ladies. Okay.
Hey, that's a good improvisation.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good improvisation.
Where are my survivors at?
While your survivors at, hey,
Yeah.
we definitely thank God for all of the survivors. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to get into it. I'm ready to get some answers. I'm ready to see some relationships come and evolve and manifest based on the person that God has for you. And so we just need to take the time and listen to God and be willing to be open and receptive today.
Oh,
Yes, I love it.
you love it? Cool. Because we're trying to clear up any misconceptions and I'm glad you started with that statement as far as what you want the end game, your ultimate end game is, because I think so many times people, sometimes people don't like the treatment. You know what I'm saying? Who likes going to physical therapy? You know what I'm saying? Because they stretch you and they put you in uncomfortable positions. They do all of these things with the intent of making you better. You know what I'm saying? So that's
That's
what
a
we are.
good
We're
one.
all on the path to better, right? We're
That's
all
good. That's
yeah,
good.
we're all on the path to better. So Jimmy, how was your day, Ashley?
My day was good. Facebook was down, and I think I got some work done.
That's a
So
good thing. That's always a good thing.
Facebook being down was not a bad thing. I hate the travel, but hey, work was productive. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
Oh man, I'm trying to study for a test right now. But get the certification out the way. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. How about you, Jimmy? I know you had a birthday this week, so how's it feel to be
Yeah,
62? What
Yeah,
you 62? You said 62 now?
oh,
oh,
I wish, man.
you
I'm
were not.
53. 53.
53.
Happy birthday to you.
I
Oh,
had a
look at
Happy birthday to you.
look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Happy
I was like, I quite quiet.
birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I had a blessed birthday. I didn't just really do too much. I was just thankful again to be alive amongst the living and know God's grace is everlasting. And so I had a good weekend, but I'm more eager to get to our show because we want answers. A lot of women want answers. A lot of men want answers because we're in a difficult time in relationships. So we need to hone in on what's really necessary so that everybody can get the person that they deserve.
All right, before we do that though, Jimmy, I want me and you, answer you in the room, but I want you to eavesdrop on this conversation, if you will,
Let
okay?
me listen to it.
All right. So Jim and I had a conversation. Are you frozen, Ashley? Unfrozen, because your lips are stuck in one place. I'm gonna make sure. If you might have
Long as they looking cute.
they cute, but I'm just saying
I'm
that.
I'm actually sharing to the group right now. Hold
Okay,
on
all
one
right, cool. Okay, that's good then. All right,
Go ahead.
Jimmy and I had a conversation the other day, and I don't think he minds having it publicly. I don't think he really talks about anything privately that he doesn't mind talking about publicly, because last week it was some hurtful. I think some shots were taken almost last week. You know what I'm saying? And
Woo.
I think the shots that were taken based off of a misattribution, number one, and a misconception, number two. And one of the statements I always hear related to Jimmy, especially for people who have their first encounters with him, one of the first things that people like to say about Jimmy is, "Who hurt you?" Or as if some woman has hurt him in the past or anything of the sort. And then one person even went as far, I know at least one person said, that seemed to question his relationship with his mother, as if he didn't have a mother in his life and that he didn't have a loving mother's life. Jimmy, clear it up for me. How long has your mother been in your life?
Well,
How long? What kind of marriage did you see, as far as an example, growing up and all those types of things?
well, my parents were married for 56 years. My father passed maybe about 5 months ago. That's not to say that I saw everything perfect, but I saw uh, roles being played in the house, which was very, very important. And like today, there are so many people that didn't have either a mother or a father, or they only had a mother. and a lot of times it hinders you from seeing the big picture as it relates to the person's role. And so I had the opportunity to see 56 years of marriage. I had a mother, father, grandparents on both sides, grandfather and grandmother on both sides. Have I been hurt by women? Of course, I've picked the wrong women. Of course, we all do that. But is it affecting me now? No, because I've taken the time to heal. I've taken the time to self-reflect and process and question what is it about me that made those wrong decisions. So I've taken accountability. And so it's just a matter. It's just a matter of taking on accountability and being responsible for the decisions you make.
Got you. And I'm glad you cleared that up. And I really wanted you to do that, because when you and because I ask. That's one thing I don't do is I don't assume, and I'm not afraid to ask. So I ask, and I asked you where this passion came from. Remember when I asked you that question?
Right.
I said what fuels your passion? What makes you? And then you told me that this was your ministry. You told me that at a certain point in your life that the Lord blessed you with the Holy Ghost and gave you the spirit and gave you the gift of speaking in tongues. And then he, as you started speaking, then you can say it better than I can. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. When I went to federal prison, I went to state prison, did 5 years from 96 to 02. And then I went to federal prison, reoffended. I had a drug charge and a wire credit card fraud, the second charge. And so I ended up in federal prison from 2010 to 2012. And that's where I met real spiritual men, not religious. And so they guided me through how I should learn the scriptures. And they were anointed men. And so I received the baptism of the Holy Spirit with the evidence of speaking in tongue and received the love of God. And that's where I had my calling. And so once I got out, I went to one ministry and stayed up under a pastor. And then God told me, I heard God speak to my spirit in 2000 and about 15 that I need to go and start a Facebook. I need to get on Facebook. I knew nothing about Facebook and I knew nothing about preaching other than what I learned. So that's where I started. And later on down in my ministry, around 17, God had started pulling on me, and everything I was talking about was leaning towards women. Mm-hmm. And so that's where my calling came from. I submitted to his will to help empower women. Now, do the things that we talk about that he's given me, are they difficult? Yes, they're going to be difficult conversations, but that doesn't excuse us from addressing the issue so we can overcome and be better in relationships.
Okay, Jim, and I appreciate that. And the 6 people that are listening right now, I hope you all hear that, and I want that to serve as the basis of our conversation. So if we can start with that understanding, then I think it helps to eliminate a lot of the productivity in the conversation, because we're having to go back and clarify and explain things in the midst of the conversation. But everyone that's on right now, if you do me one quick favor, hit that share button, hit that like button. Let's try to get this algorithm up. Let's try to see if we can get this conversation going tonight. We're going to be on for a while. I got Jimmy Hinton and I got Ashley G. And I'm excited about tonight's show. Now, we are continuing the conversation with regards to why have we traded places. Last week, the conversation took a left turn. We really had a destination in mind, and we started discussing and debating. And I really don't want to debate. I really just want to discuss. Started discussing and debating things that we really didn't mean to get into, and the conversation ended up taking a left turn. So we're going to try to start off on the right path tonight. Please, ma'am, please, sir, like and share. So last week, based on the comments that I saw in the chat, it seems as though we're dealing with a lot of hurting individuals for whatever reason. We have been hurt by relationships. We've been hurt by people that we had chosen as our significant others. We've been hurt by individuals that we chose to have children with. All of these reasons, these individuals have hurt us. And when they hurt us, what it does is it leaves casualties. There's one thing that said that when you hurt, you have a tendency. There's one quote that says you have a tendency of bleeding on people who've done absolutely nothing to you when you hurt, because you end up taking that hurt into the next relationship, and you take that hurt into all of your friendships, all of those things, because we have a way of hurt. We hurt until we heal. Would you all agree with that? I hope you would. If you do, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know that you're there. If you're hurt with that, then put a 1 in the chat. But here's the thing right here. Here's the caveat. Here's the question. When we become hurt, and at that point we become somewhat damaged, considering the topic tonight, the topic being, have we traded places, dealing with masculine women and somewhat feminine men, all those types of things. When we do this, are women acting masculine? I'm not talking about in roles, but in attitudes. Are we doing that because we're damaged? That's the question. And Ashley, you can help me out with that. If are women taking on a masculine role because we're damaged?
I mean, I can go back to what some of the things that Jimmy just said. As far,
1 second, I gotta make a quick call.
I can go back to some of the things that Jimmy just said as far as being hurt. Jimmy doesn't start acting like a woman because he is hurt. He said that he one of the things that I know that he has talked about is basically finding a way to heal from those things. But as far as us being hurt, it should not change the way in which we start to act as though we have balls down to our ankles. And that's one of the things that I think, if we could go back to last week, some of the ladies kind of, I'm not going to say all, but it kind of proved a point as to what some of the men were saying, because the minute that we got to talking about certain subjects, it became a, I don't even want to use the N word, but it was almost like, Ian, let me tell you something. And it was almost as though I couldn't defend our side, because we're in essence giving off exactly what it is that men are saying that we're doing. We don't have to necessarily change our attitude because we have been hurt. We don't have to put ourselves in a manly role because we have been hurt. And I think a lot of times it comes off as though I got the bigger set than what you have. And that's what a lot of men's issues and problems are. It's not necessarily his fault that we are going through what it is that we're going through, but I don't understand how that changes the attitude. Ladies, help me out with that. How does that change our attitude? How does that make us, or why do we change our attitudes and act as though we're now men? Let me see. Let's see here.
Here I come.
Because I can't see the comments over here.
Here I come. They haven't started commenting just yet. So we're having this discussion right now. I had to get something taken care of in the other room. So with that being so what's our consent? Somewhat, let me make sure that the comments are working, because I haven't seen anybody make any comments. Somebody drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know if the comments are even working. I know Facebook has had some issues today, so we might not be able to see. I want to make sure that we're able to see their comments.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Here we go. Monique's there. Who else is there? What were you saying?
Hey, Monique, girl, y'all speak to us.
Yeah, speak. Y'all wasn't this quiet last week. There you go, Sue-Ann. Y'all wasn't this quiet last week. Bring the energy. Hey, what's up?
There we go.
My cousin Benita.
So ladies, my question to you is, why, and you may not be this woman, but why is it that we feel as though we need to become this manly woman? Almost in essence, like if I could whoop her in, I would. That's kind of how it comes off.
Yeah, we can't answer that.
And last week we talked, and someone made the statement that let me think if I can remember it. I said this on the way home, but I did not write it down. Someone made the statement that it's basically because of what the men are doing. So you mean to tell me that what a man does to you alters the way that you act? Hey, Lady Hayes, how you doing?
I love old Lady Hayes.
Let me interject real quick. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. Don't start that stuff. Just talk, Jimmy.
So here's what the Holy Spirit has ministered to me as it relates to once a woman goes through different men and gets hurt. Okay, what happens is she puts up a wall, and then men are no longer able. She's looking through. She's got on glasses and looking through foggy lenses. So every man, not all, but every man becomes the wrong man to her after she's been hurt. And when she doesn't take the time to heal and go within to remedy those traumas, then she'll, it's always, always seems like the man's fault. And so I'm saying a lot of times if they haven't gone through the rites of passage of womanhood, and if they become a worker bee and they start doing it all on their own, that they think that they have to be manly to do it. And I've always said, just because you're doing it alone don't mean you have to be so masculine to do it. And so a lot of times, again, women get hurt. We know men are doing a lot of wrong to y'all, but it should not change who you are.
I agree with that 100%.
Power. Women have to stop giving men too much power over their attitude, over their emotions, based on what a man did. You have to let go of the past in order to get to the future.
Okay, so you just said something, and I want to ask you to expound on this as well. You just used a key word, it's the E word, that emotion piece. So are you suggesting that, because I mean, and ladies, y'all, if y'all, hey Nita, how you doing? Nita, Monique, Vet, but Benita Roy, I'm sorry, I've been knowing her as Vet all my life. Lady Karen Hayes, all of y'all, please hit that share button.
Hey, Ms. Bohannon, Dr. Bohannon.
Hit that share button, please. Hit that share button. But what, and I want to clarify this lady that Ashley is talking about tonight, because we're talking about a woman that would challenge a man, not mentally, but in strength. I mean, that will physically talk to you like a dude. I mean, try to fight you like a dude, that will hit you like a dude. I mean, that woman. I mean, what makes a person that angry? And it seemed like Jimmy suggesting that it's definitely tied to emotion, and that she's acting out of anger.
Well, let me ask this, because I've had a lot of conversation. I'm younger than most of the women that I hang with and that I talk to, and I'm an old soul in a young body. And so a lot of the times when I have conversations with different women, one of their things is a man can't tell me nothing. I've been doing everything all by myself. He got to come correct. So my thing is okay, if a man walked up to you today, could you whoop it? Since you think that
no, and women, answer that question that she just said. Answer that question first, because, and I appreciate Lady Hayes, Vet, Benita Roy, all of y'all that are saying that I'm 100% lady, and I believe that 100%. But Ashley, ask that question one more time and see
if a man walked up to you today, because we all big and bad, and I'm saying all. I'm not saying me or anybody that's on the live, but the female species. If a man walked up to you today, could you whoop him? I don't. Big, small, whatever. Could you whoop a man? Because sometimes that's the way that I'll let y'all answer that, and then I'll give a rebuttal. Shantae said probably not, but I'm not gonna have a man talk to me like I'm a child.
Dr. Bohannon answered why they potentially act like that. She said trauma, most likely addicted to emotional pain, is what makes them act out like that. Trauma. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
They a lot of times, let me interject. A lot of times,
listen, I'm gonna put that up. Keep that same thought. But look what Dr. Bohannon said. No, she cannot physically, but brokenness tells the mind, yes, she can whip him. Right. Because they will start talking. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I ain't like that chihuahua. If I don't think I can win a fight, I probably ain't gonna talk too much. I mean, I only fight battles I think I can win for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But when that mouth gets to going, oh my gosh. Get it. I hear you, Sue Ann. Sue Ann says she will defend herself. Now, but what if your mouth started it though? You can't pick a fight, then become the victim in the middle of the fight. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, am I saying that the right way? Y'all help me out.
Well, sometimes we do. That mouth can overload our tails, and sometimes we can back up a little bit when it comes to certain things. But a lot of times we do. Some of us can escalate the situation by continuing on. At some point in time, somebody has to make the conscious decision to, if you don't, maybe just not talk. You know, if you see that things are, and I know that's easier said than done, but I guess the whole thing is not whether or not a man is going to talk to you any kind of way or allowing a person to talk to you in kind of way, because I feel like that's on a whole nother level. But I think what has happened is a lot of time men now are saying, I don't want her because she more of a man than what I am. And it has nothing to do with having to do it on your own. I mentioned this briefly in the very first segment, I think that we had, the impromptu, that I was dating a guy who was in the military. My daughter was, oh my God, she might have, I don't even think she was one. She may or may not have been one. No, she was one. But anywho, we dated and he wanted to, take care of. And I couldn't allow him to, I was too independent. And when I say too independent, it was almost like, I got you. Not necessarily that I had to ask, but I wouldn't even accept the help because I don't need a man. And again, it took me to learn from that. I learned from that, but I was young. I took from that, and he even said, he learned from me that he should have had a little bit more time. Or no, a little bit more patience with me and to allow me to be able to grow into that, because that's not something that I had, not that I didn't witness, that wasn't something that I had experienced from a mate. And so in that, I don't need you. I got this. And in essence, I'm not that way now, but I am that way, if that makes sense. I'll allow a man to do whatever, but I'm not out here asking anybody to do anything. It's almost if he comes in and he's doing that for me, wonderful. But it's not as though I'm waiting for it to happen, if that makes sense.
Well, here's another side to that. Just say the right man comes in your life and you haven't healed, you haven't dealt with your issues, but you still want a man in your life. Now let's look at it from the man's perspective. If you're not willing and take accountability for your attitude, what you say, the things that come out of your mouth, it becomes difficult for a man and stressful. And you can get to the point where you're in what we call insufferable, meaning that no matter how good I am, if you're not willing to listen, if you're not willing to lay back, if you're not willing to allow a man to be a man, you're insufferable. And just think about how many good men have approached women when they haven't healed. And because they haven't got over their past traumas, they miss the right man in their life that's trying to help them, but they can't see it because they got they got foggy glasses on. They're looking through the wrong lenses, and the man could be the perfect man, but if she hasn't healed and dealt with her issues, that man can be the best man in the world, but you can become insufferable and he can't tolerate you because you're not willing to be accountable with your healing and how you should be. What is your role in your behavior? Once the right man comes in your life, what is your accountability with your mouth, your attitude, and your behavior towards that man? Are you going to make it easier for him to deal with you, or are you going to be insufferable?
That's good. Hey, and let me highlight what Gerald says, because I came from the same school of thought and that same training. Gerald Jennings said he's been married for a long time and raised daughters and sons. But he said something. He said, I was always taught not to argue with a woman. Reason why, because we know we can't out talk y'all. And the thing about it is when women say certain things, y'all go for the jugular vein. And when you do it, you really go for the knockout punch. And men that haven't been taught to handle their emotions, that's why some of them act out like they act out. Right. My daddy told me if a woman makes me mad enough to leave, point blank, get out of that situation. Later on in a family and a planning class I read an article that said one of the art of fighting fair. One of the things you can do is take 5 minutes to say anything that you were just about to say. If you can take 5 minutes and take a cooling period and then say what you were about to say, then you got a good chance of getting through. Here, Lady Karen Hayes, Ashley, can you see that?
Yeah, I was getting ready to try to attempt it. Okay, Lady Karen says, why are we talking to men disrespectfully? Did you have a father? If so, use your home training. If not, we have to admit that. My no means no, and yes is yes. Soft and sexy, she says. Sometimes my mind gets changed, though.
That's good.
Sometimes my mind gets changed, though. I agree with that. And I can't say every woman, but 95% of the women have said some slick to a man. However, no, I had a father. No, I didn't talk disrespectful to my dad. I think I got 2 whoopings from my dad, and it definitely was not talking back. It was something crazy. But I definitely did not talk back to my father. As far as talking back to, and I don't like to say talking back because it's not in essence talking back because he is not your dad. But sometimes we can take a different approach when we are handling. And I'm not a perfect person. We can, and I have learned from some of the things. Once you know better, you should definitely do better. There are ways in which we can say things a little bit more softly, and that's something that my mother taught me. My mom, put him in my room, has been married, and I've seen marriage, so that and healthy relationships. So that part wasn't something that I had to learn later on, and she has taught us how to be able to get more. Flowers with honey?
Oh yeah.
Than it is. No,
listen
you know what
this.
I'm saying.
Yeah, just listen at this. Listen at this. First of all, if a woman didn't have a father, listen at that. An absent father, no femininity. Listen at that. She was not taught womanhood, so she does not know how to be feminine. Then she's independent, which separates her from being able to cooperate with a man. Absolutely. Those are 3 things that are keeping women in the role of the man's place. I'm going to say that again. She did not have a father, so she does not know how to interact with men.
Wow.
She has no femininity because she was not taught how to be a feminine woman. And the third thing is she's independent, which puts her outside of being able to cooperate with a man. Those 3 things right there are the main reasons a lot of women have swapped roles. Those 3 reasons right there. And they have to overcome that. How? They have to tap into their sensuality, their spirituality, and their sexuality. They have to be accountable, and they have to go within and heal. That's and good. Until they do that, to get to know themselves and know what their core needs are, then they're going to still have those unresolved daddy issues. See, those result. It's a lot of black women, not all, but it's a lot of black women with daddy issues. So it's hard they can't cooperate with a man because they don't even know how a lot of black women don't even understand men. They don't know the soul of a man. Okay.
So let me ask this. Because you mentioned something. Are men willing to take the time if they meet somebody, she got everything. I mean, everything. It's just this one small little thing. She just can't become interdependent. She wants to be independent. And it's kind of, in essence, holding you back. She's a little bit aggressive, but she's not aggressive. Are men willing to walk that path to help her. And to the flip side to that is, ladies, are we willing to walk the path and not change, but make ourselves better to be more appeasing, maybe word to use, to the mate that we want to attract? Or the one that we've attracted, and he trying his best, Lord, he trying.
Well, masculine energy, the man that all the women, black women, or most women are talking about, that masculine man that's a provider, protector, understand your emotions, want you to be interdependent instead of independent. That man right there, the only woman that will work for him is a feminine energy woman, a resourceful, creative, resilient, loving, nurturing, caring man. Woman is what he's looking for. That man, the man that all these women are talking about they want, that man only wants one type of woman, and that's a feminine energy woman. That's what inspires him to be masculine. And if she's in his place, it's difficult and stressful, and she becomes, I'm gonna say this again, insufferable. It doesn't mean that he's not willing, but the question becomes, is she willing to work on herself? That'll give him the opportunity to put her in a position to heal. Is she willing to listen? Is she willing to lay back? Is she willing to stop trying to lead? Those are the three questions. It's not on the man, because the man is willing. It's her taking her position that'll allow him to be a man.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good.
So question. We know it's not going to change overnight. So, but you're saying that if you see a conscious effort in trying to become a better you or better her.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the ladies a live example. Okay. Say that I met a certain woman and I see she's been doing it all by herself all this time. Okay. I'm showing interest in her. I'm trying to I'm expressing myself. I'm emotionally available. And so I have a conversation with her. I sit her down because she won't let me open the door. She won't let me pump the gas. She won't let me buy her nothing. It's all about I'm independent and I got this. So at the end, in the evening, at the end of the day, I sit her down and say, okay, sweetheart, I need you to listen to me. I really do like you. I see where you're independent. I see where you're strong and creative, and I see that. But sweetheart, I need you to just let go of the reins, because I'm trying to come in and I'm trying to be the part that to take the stress off of you.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to be strong for you. I need you to quit being strong and let me be strong for you. Okay. Once I convey that message, it's her responsibility to self-reflect, process what I'm saying, and then make it applicable. The problem is a lot of women are not being you're not applying what the man says, and you're making it stressful. And by the time he gets tired, how many times do you want him to keep trying?
That's
now,
good.
And I'm not saying he's not gonna be patient with you. A real man gonna take his time. If that man care about you, that man gonna take his time with you. But you got to be accountable and say, now wait a minute, this man is making a step. I need to listen. I need to lay back. I need to quit trying to lead.
That's good.
And allow him to be a man.
That's good. Let me
good.
Hold on. Let me read a couple of the comments. First of all, then Gerald's been married for 36 years. I want to say Gerald's been married to the same woman for 36 years. He said this thing, because we're talking about cooperation. He said this thing works both ways, because she has to learn to trust him with herself and to submit to him. Now, that happens after we've proven out. This is the thing, ladies, because we're talking about, will you let him be the man? And I hear women say that all the time. And we talk about cooperation and that whole piece. But when he proves that he's going to do what he's supposed to do, then at that point, you have to let him become who he's going to become. Stacy said something. Let's listen to what Stacy said.
I like that, Mr. James. After he shows you, then you can submit.
But the problem with that, though, Ashley, is sometimes, I'm glad you stopped me. The problem with that is sometimes we come in carrying the baggage from the past relationship. And because we're carrying the baggage from the past relationship, we have a preconceived notion in this relationship. So what we've done is we've set rat traps, we've set bear traps, we've set up a whole lot of things. So when we recognize anything that has a semblance of what we've experienced in the past, then we're ready to jump ship. Now look what Stacey says. Stacey says, we love a superwoman.
I love that.
Our job is to help remove the super and just allow you to be a woman.
Black men don't want you to be a superwoman. We tired of you being strong. Black men are looking for a resilient woman. We tired, but see, because what's happening with the strong woman, you in the house with the strong man, and so me and you got to go back and forth on who the strongest, and you at the end of the day you're gonna lose, baby. So real men are needing a resilient. We don't need strong. We see you got to take that hat. We want you to be strong in the world, but when you get to the house, we need you to take off that hat and put on your crown, baby.
But Jimmy, I think somewhere along the lines, and ladies, y'all can help me out with this, because I don't know, Nikki, clarify your question. Where? Because I'm lost on that one.
She's saying where they at. That's where they at.
They out here.
Everywhere.
They out here, but he might not come in. Might not make 9 figures and have curly hair.
They come in small, medium, large.
He might make $42,000 a year. I mean, I don't know.
Women gotta do here. They got to get the right. A lot of women don't have on the right lenses. They keep talking about. You keep talking about where the good men are. Now, if you have to ask that question, they're not looking for you. Think about that. If you got to go, if you have to go somewhere where good men are, baby, they not looking for you. Think about that now. Good men are everywhere. Women need to quit talking about where are they. If they not where you are, that means you out of position, and you need to reestablish where you are because you out of position.
Well, let's talk about that lens, Ashley, because like I said, you got several things that can cloud those lenses as well. And a lot of things that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, we've all been lured by subliminal suggestion. I mean, the society, the world, everything, they've done all they can to demonize a black man and to emasculate a black man, and they magnify every flaw of a black man. And it's so easy to pile on. Y'all ever notice how you put gas on a fire, how that joker just inflames? And we do that to our black men. I mean, really, it ain't it no more. My bad, Sheree, you so funny. But we do that. And so because we do that, I think we do go in with some of these preconceived notions, and we end up diluting what could potentially be. He said,
let's go. But Bonita made a statement on here, and I want to know, I from a female perspective, want to know, she says it's limited, and she said Jimmy's the man. You can't speak for a single woman. On which statement, Miss Bonita? Which statement can he?
He's talking about it's a limited number of men out here, but that numerically does.
But see, this is that feminine. Watch this. Feminine energy women don't have no problem with men. A woman that's feminine, she's gonna always attract that man. If you having a problem, that means you might not have enough femininity.
Well, Jimmy,
feminine energy attracts those men. If you're not sensual, caring, nurturing, loving, affectionate, inspiring, you need to reevaluate why those men are not around you, because
so let me ask this though.
Energy attracts masculine energy.
Let me ask this though, because I think this goes back to the first part that I was asking. I myself.
If it's not true, tell us what is true, and
not me. I'm not talking
about somebody in the comments say that's not true. Not so.
Look at their result. All they got to do is look at your results. You can. A lot of women can complain, but all you got to do is look at your results. What are your results saying?
Well, let me say this. If I am a woman who feels as though I am giving off all of this, feminine energy, I'm being supportive, I'm being this, I'm doing that, and it still is not giving me or getting me or attracting what it is that I think, then what else? Well, then what? Because in my mind, and this is where I go back to, will men say what it is? Because communication, that's one of the things that we talked about. There's a breakdown, of course, in that between men and women, and specifically the black families. there's a breakdown in the communication. So my thing is that if you feel as though I'm possessing this, but it's not this particular way, then is anybody going to ever help me, pull me to the side and say, this is what I see? Or are all we, because we're pouring into the man, but we in essence are getting chopped down for the lack of knowledge. Does that make sense?
But your point, what is happening is a lot of women are pouring into the wrong men, thinking that those are they're going by them. Are they seeking God for the man? Or are you picking him based on what he looked like, what he got, and what he does? Is it just your type that you keep picking? What I'm saying to most women is the men you choose to entertain is a reflection of your emotion. What about your emotional state as it relates to the men you attract? What about your emotion? See, if you're a confident woman, if you know who you are and know your worth, you're going to attract all types of men, but it's not who you attract, it's who you choose to entertain. See, it's not about the attraction, it's who you choosing to entertain. That's the question, and we need to ask, what is, if we're keep continually picking male or female, continually picking the wrong type of person, then we need to ask ourselves, what is it about me that continually picks those type of people? Because it's not
Denise
on the person, it's on
Denise
me.
said, can she not be strong, independent, and feminine?
It's a balancing act. Too many women are, you're more independent than you are feminine. Independent is opposite of feminine, because you think you got to do it all, and a man has to be strong for you. Men don't want you strong. We want to be strong for you.
All right, now I'm going to offer this as kind of a devil's advocate to even what you're saying, Jimmy. I agree with
Mr.
you.
Gerald said communication is number one.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just saying, Mr. Gerald said
Yeah.
Communication is the number one issue.
All right, cool. I got you. All right, but this I'm challenging a little bit of what Jimmy. Jim, I agree with everything that Jimmy says. I do. I agree with everything he said.
We not.
Huh?
I'm messing.
Oh, but numerically, you can't. There's not a man for every woman. There's 3 million more black women in the world than there are black men. So there's such a competitive pool as it relates. And that's what, I did a show a couple weeks ago about who's the prize, and we talked about the who's the prize piece. And with there being 3 million more black women than there are black men, and we don't believe in, polygamy is not legal in the United States, and most black women wouldn't agree anyway. And I wouldn't either. But with that being said, every woman's not going to get a man. So we can stop that narrative. They're not. And so when Nikki says that where are they, and that there's not enough, they're telling the truth. So we can't say that you're not feminine enough, or you're not this, or you're not that. You can't say that, because that's not the truth. Some of them are, but they'll just never be with anybody because it's a numbers game. There's 3 million more black women than there are black men.
A woman with feminine energy can step in the room with 1,000 women, and that masculine man is going to find her out.
What if it's 10 feminine women in there?
No. I don't care how many extra women.
What if it's 10 feminine women in there and one masculine man in there? Can he?
But it's almost like going to a job interview, and everybody's auditioning.
No, what I'm saying,
everybody is applying for the same job. I'm unique, and I'm not concerned about what everybody. Here I am to put my best foot forward. Right. And do what it is that I need to do to make sure that I'm attracting what it is. I'm not worried about nobody else. When I walk in big, fat, however it is, I don't worry about nobody else. Okay.
In a conversation, it's possible for both people to be right, though.
Yeah. What I am saying is, there are so many women that have lost their femininity.
Oh, I agree with that aspect.
And when a woman is operating in her true feminine essence, she's gonna attract a masculine man that's willing to take care of her. It does not matter who she's around. If that woman is operating in her 100% femininity, and what does that mean? She's a nurturer. she's caring, she's creative, she's inspiring him to be the best he can be. That woman right there, she's gonna stand out amongst all other women, because most of the time
That sounds like something like the Bible. That sounds biblical a little bit too.
You don't see in today's society. You don't see a lot of women think feminine is a look. It's not a look. It's not. A lifestyle. It's not weaves. It's not lace fronts. It's not eyelashes. It's not a big booty. It's not a big breast. It don't have nothing to do with that. And everybody got that, so that ain't nothing.
And
so
you can buy it.
Everybody got that. You can pay for that, but a real man, he gonna look past all of that, and he looking at your attitude. He looking at, can you keep a house peaceful? He looking at, can you inspire him to be better? That's what he looking at.
Hey, yeah, listen, I'm enjoying the conversation so far. We're not even halfway through it yet. We're gonna keep it going. But do me a favor. There's 16 people on this live right now. I know it's some more eavesdropping and looking that don't want to click in. Go ahead and click in, please. And do me a favor, share the video, share the thread right quick. Like it, love it, share it, laugh at it, be angry at it if you don't agree, whatever. But just share it, share the content. Okay. Now, so let's continue the conversation with the whole cooperation piece, because listen, last week the conversation went left a little bit because people thought that Uncle Jimmy was bashing women. Now. And they say, it didn't seem like every time we bring up a conversation, something about women, then a woman responds by saying, well, what about the men? Let me say this. We're trying to have the hard conversations that's going to fix the entire community, okay? So when we have those kind of conversations, we intend to address every aspect of the community. We mean we're going to address the men, we're going to address the women, we're going to address families, we're going to address the church, we're going to address a whole lot of things as we go, because everybody has, thank you, Denise, everybody has to be accountable. So just because we so happen to start with the women, don't mean that if you follow Jimmy on Facebook today, you'll see that his posts were men related today. He was inspired to encourage the men. So we're going to do that. But what we want to do and what we're doing tonight so far, and I appreciate y'all in the comments that have already commented, we're asking the question now, how do we get to a place of cooperation so that we can create reconciliation? So that way we don't go into relationships with preconceived notions. We don't go in expecting to fail. We don't go in with the end in mind. In fact, if we end up getting married and saying I do, we do it till death does us part. How do we get to the point of healing and I want some people in the comment to start answering those questions. How do we get to a place of healing and cooperation? What do you think you can do to help us help in the cooperation stage? Is that a good question? Women, what can you do to help in the cooperation stage? Ask you how.
That's a good thing to pose to the women, because a lot of times we do feel attacked. But I will say this on the flip side, it's almost like one of the things I used to get in trouble about at work was my dress. My dress in the front would be long, but in the back it would be short. That's because my booty was a little high. But I never would go in when I would go into HR and they would, try to reprimand me. I never would say, well, what about them? Because I didn't care about them. I didn't care about why their dress was short. They may have had things going on at home that prevented them from wearing proper clothing. So I said that to say, when someone is addressing us as the female species, we shouldn't automatically want to go and say, well, what about them? What is it that we can do to make ourselves better so that we can make sure that we got all of our ducks in a row, so that when somebody comes to us and tries to say that we don't, we got everything in line. Now you need to get yourself right.
Right. And see, that's why women think that I bash, because I bring up issues that we have never talked about, because a lot of women have never heard men truly open up and be emotionally accountable. Just like Denise is saying in the comment, women feel attacked because it's true. Okay, so instead of feeling attacked, women need to go inside and process and self-reflect and see, are those behaviors, are those things that a man is saying that we are talking about now, are those some things that you have done that you need to correct as opposed to feeling attacked, because it's not going to change, because men are emotionally, we're going to tell you right now, we're in a season where men are talking. We're not backing down no more. So
Exactly.
we got to have some comprehension on both sides, some understanding on both sides, some submission. The Bible says, submit ye one to another. It's the responsibility of the man to submit to the woman, to show her what submission looks like. Submission is not a difficult word. It means to cooperate. Submit, cooperate with each other. That's all it's saying. But the man's job, listen to this, women, the man is supposed to submit. He is supposed to cooperate and be patient with you first to show you what that looks like. And then you're supposed to fall in line after he shows you, and he's consistent. Not trying to lie to you and act like it on the front end and then be a dog on the back end. That's not what I'm saying. You got to be patient.
Sharia wanted me to read her comment. It says, to me, it's not all about the woman being so strong or feminine. It's about the mindset and the motive of the man too. I think Jimmy just addressed that. He said, and Jimmy, that's a good point. He said, once he's shown you patience, once he's shown you love, once he's shown you those things, and he's consistent in that, consistent, then typically the rest of the family takes on the mentality of that father, or the temperament of that father, because the house is kind of set, the temperature is set. You remember when Mama used to say, your daddy gonna be home, and when your daddy come home, he gonna do this. That kind of set the temperature of the household. Denise, I sent you a link if you want to come on tonight. You know we enjoy you on our conversation. So if you check your inbox, you say you've already had these conversations with your husband.
Denise, I was going to go back up and read some of these other ones. Denise said we have to start communicating and working together. Benita Roy says communication and make sure he is a provider. Can he provide? Can he lead? Mm-hmm. Brother Gerald Jennings says one of the ways to fix it is by addressing both audiences in the same segment.
We will.
Denise said we feel attacked because most of it is true. Somebody said that. Brother Gerald says we have to communicate with both parties so that we will not feel attacked. Now that's a good one. Denise says no one can tell me anything about me. I know all my flaws. Miss Denise, I know that you may feel like you know all of your flaws, but I guarantee you that somebody will point out something that you have never seen or thought about yourself.
I know.
And I say that because we try to do self-reflections, but sometimes it's good for us to have a second opinion. Even when we go to the doctor and he gives us a diagnosis, we always seek a second opinion to ensure that what it is that we are finding out is accurate.
Let me pose this to some women. What about this? What about when a man comes to you and he's a false representative and you lie to yourself because you want what you want and you're not patient enough to see who that man really is based on his character? What about the self-accountability and the responsibility by having boundaries and consequences for a man, instead of that man presenting you the false representative and then you allowing him in your bedroom and you didn't give yourself time enough to find out who the man really is? Is there, and it's just a question I'm asking women. Do a lot of women feel that they are hasty? They're moving too fast. They want what they want, and it ends up in hurt and pain. Can some women be honest in that area to say, well, yeah, a lot of times we're not patient?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I would say a lot of times we may be hasty because we may feel like if we don't put what we think is our best foot forward, he may go on with Sally Sue. And I don't mean no harm when I say this. You can go on with Sally Sue. And when you get done with Sally Sue giving you, that it might be a whop for that night, but Sally Sue ain't gonna have nothing else for you but that. None of my relationships started off with the exception of maybe one, started off with me doing anything within the first maybe 8 or 9 months of my relationship.
Yeah.
And that's just to see if, because sex clouds things. It brings about feelings that you really don't have. You be loving them, and it ain't, as Jimmy would say, what loving, licking, and laying, or something you be saying.
Right.
A lot of times we fall in love with what it is that he or she does to us and for us, and how he or she makes us feel at that time. So if we would do just a little bit more research on the other part, you may find out he or she real psycho. You may find.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You're right, Ashley. What's happening is a lot of times women allow their emotions to blind them to the real person. And a man, and I always say this, a man can only do what a woman allows. And so women have to be more accountable. They have to be able to vet men properly instead of just allowing these men just because he's your type to come into your bedroom, and he has not shown you he's reliable. He has not proven he's consistent, but you want what you want. And that's why a lot of times women end up getting hurt.
So Ashley, what you're in essence saying is that sometimes women operate with the concept of possibly having a fear of loss.
Yes, sometimes a lot of times we're in competition all the time, whether or not he is our man or not.
So
when we meet somebody,
so we'll hang on to something. So can't nobody else have him, or we want to, or maybe
first of all, we will hang on to something. We will create something. We, just for the sake
themselves. They're a lot of time women allow themselves.
I've seen that one. I told somebody specifically that I wasn't, and they told me I was.
We will
literally lied to themselves and ran with that narrative. And I think now I know it don't apply to the women on the live tonight because all of y'all strong healed and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But those that aren't as strong as you are, some of them will settle because of the numbers. And they say, I'm gonna hold on to him and hopefully I can change him. Now, you meet the representative, and sometimes you didn't. Sometimes he told you who he was up jump.
We didn't believe him.
And you didn't believe him.
Do you know when you build women? Let me say this. When you build a man up and y'all call yourself Build-A-Boo and Transmission Tammy and Refurbish Reba, when y'all get to doing that, when that man get to where he want to be, he's not gonna stay with you. You know why? Because you know the real him. He wants to be somebody that don't nobody know where he come from. But that woman that built him up and gave him everything, he not gonna be with you for long because you know the real him. So it don't make no sense to build no. You know what let me tell you, I've always said this. A lot of women are building men up for the next woman, while the next man is tearing down the next woman for the next man. Listen to that. Listen, I'm gonna say that again. A lot of women are building men up for the next woman, while the next man is tearing down the next woman for the next man.
I wish I could type faster. I would type that and put that on a ticker, but I can't type that fast.
Listen,
let me see what Sue Ann said.
And it's so. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to read Sue Ann's comment. Sue Ann Lynn said, "If you're healed, you won't disrespect yourself.
That's right.
You won't play yourself.
That's right.
Boundaries set up and emotional intelligence on point. So that's the key. It's being willing to
heal.
Say that I need to be alone. After, and I use mine as an example. When I got divorced, when we got divorced, me and my ex had a conversation, and she told me, she said, don't worry, I won't be bringing any men around your children until they've graduated high school and are out the house. She said, I got to heal. I got to go through this process first. And I don't know if she's held to that, but she made sure she put that in the atmosphere, because I watch women jump in and out of relationships, bring people around their children, have people living in the house with their children, all these types of things. And most times you haven't taken the time for yourself to really get the healing that's necessary. And I'll repeat it again. If you have not healed completely, you inadvertently unintentionally bleed on the net on people around you that did nothing to you. You'll take that pain right into your next relationship.
And guess what? A real man already knows majority of women are damaged and hurt, got low self-esteem, don't know that. We already know that. So when we come to you, we already understand. Now I'm talking about real men. I'm not talking about the men that y'all chose to entertain in the past. I'm not talking about them. Okay, you got to change your mindset. I'm talking about real, honest, masculine, providing men. They are everywhere, and they are sitting around. We trying to figure this thing out because we like, okay, well, if we're ready for this relationship, why come they can't see us?
Wow.
Women, a man is not gonna come through your chimney, baby. You got to be in a position where men are available.
I can't get them for Christmas.
The man is not coming through the chimney. He's not finna knock on your door. What, baby? Let me ask you this: would you date you? Look at some of these women. Look at your lifestyle. Some of y'all don't do nothing but go to work, go to church, and go home. Would you date you?
Wow.
I have a question. Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of the.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna piggyback off of the some of the things that Jimmy said as far as men choosing. You don't even have to. They don't even have to be wanting to be with you per se, but because of the type of person that you are, they just want to give. It's people that, and I this is not to toot a horn, but there are people that will bless me just because I am who I am.
Because you a feminine woman.
They're not wanting to.
Yeah, let me say that. Because Ashley is a feminine woman and she knows her role and she plays her part. There are men that are willing to give her money, pay for whatever she needs, because she's a feminine woman. She inspires, she speaks a man's imagination. She knows her role. She knows how to lay back and allow a man to be a man. And that inspires a man to want to take care of you. It's not about you being aggressive, independent, trying to always be right. It's not even about that. If you just play your role as a feminine, caring, nurturing, loving, inspiring, creative woman, there's a man going to come in your life and take care of you, because that's what we do. We waiting to take care of a feminine woman. She has to be feminine.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. It does make a difference. So we're in the stage of the conversation, and it's a good conversation so far. Everybody that's on the chat right now, do me a favor. I'm gonna ask you again. Please share this stream so we can get some more people on. We're gonna be on for a little less, probably than another hour, because we got some other topics that we want to discuss. Jimmy, so this is the next question.
Hey Nick, thanks for joining.
What's up, Nick? So we're talking about real men, and you know what, women, I'm gonna speak for me as a man. I get tired of women telling us what a real man is. Because sometimes I wonder.
Well, hold up now. Hold up, because y'all be coming in talking about what a real woman is.
And you just said a minute ago, when somebody said something to you, you go and they call you nervous about your dress that you don't try to.
I'm just saying.
You just flipped it back on me. You just put a rule out a minute ago, and then you came right back with the rule. I got a decent memory now. I've been working on my short term.
You got that elephant, huh?
I got short term. You gotta shift it quick, and if you don't shift it fast enough, you will lose it. So I shifted that one once you said that one. Okay,
you did.
But y'all ain't even got to answer that. But for real, that's an insult to some people sometimes, because what are you basing that on? You know what I'm saying? But this is another issue, and we're gonna talk about this for the next 52 minutes if we can.
Let me see. We know when a relation. Let me see. Denise says we know when relationships are not for us. We know this. We just continue on. Then we start the blame game. We start bashing the men when they've shown us who they now. Denise, you better come on, girl.
And they knew in the beginning.
And the point. Now watch this. Let me piggyback on what Denise is saying. Now Denise is saying what the reaction is, but now what men are saying. Listen to this, women. Look what Denise is saying. She said, then we start the blame game. We start bashing men. Watch this. When they've shown us who they really are, that man showed you who he really was from the beginning. You ignored the red flag.
There it is.
God, the Bible says The Bible says warning comes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Absolutely.
If you ignore the red flags because you want what you want, that's not that man's fault that he end up that the false representative ended up in your bedroom because you allowed it. That was your fault. You picked him.
Come on,
Shante
Nick.
say you
Come on,
picked
Nick.
him, honey.
And Nick said you chose to ignore it. And that's what we do. Women think that they can fix somebody that's broken, and you can't fix somebody. You got, y'all use this new term these days talking about you got a vibe, right? When you really vibe with somebody, you ain't gotta fix them. it's chemistry.
Let me go further with that, Jane. Not only let me explain something. Watch this.
Gerald, I don't know what you mean with that statement.
You don't fix a real man. A real man gonna adjust.
Exactly. That's good.
I'm gonna say that one more time. You don't fix a real man. Don't need to be fixed. He already fixed. All he got to do is adjust to what he needs to do to make your life more comfortable and more simpler. Real men don't need fixing. So if you fixing somebody, he not the one.
That's good.
So what you saying is, if I'm worth it, you gonna do.
Let me explain this. If a real man see your worth and your value, that man go come hell or high water, because when a real man know what he want, he gonna go after what he want. What the woman has to do, be willing to submit to that man coming to you, trying to show you what he's trying to do, as opposed to reverting through your past trauma and thinking he gonna be just like every other man, and then you miss your blessing.
Miss your blessing. Miss that preconceived notion.
Y'all heard it, ladies. Jimmy said,
absolutely. Okay.
You ain't got to fix the man. They will adjust if we what they really want.
Absolutely.
Hey, I need to tweet that. That needs something. Everybody's on this page need to put that on Facebook and give Jimmy the credit for quoting it.
Nick said we tend to choose a person who is good to us and not the person that's good for us.
Emotional. I bring out of emotion. Hey, let's we got 40. That's a good topic. That's we can hang around that for a while. We still ain't. That's good. That's good. Listen, here's the question right here. So, Jimmy, we're gonna start this and Gerald, since you on and you commenting, I just y'all, all the men, y'all keep communicating, please.
Welcome, men. I love it.
We're gonna help these ladies understand us better, and in turn, they're gonna turn around and help us understand them better. And we're gonna leave this conversation as Jimmy said, with understanding tonight. We're going to leave with understanding, and we're going to be better. So here's the question. Y'all ready? How should men proceed with women knowing that they're damaged? Because we've already established that a lot of sisters are damaged. Some of it might have been self-inflicted, for hanging around too long. Some of it might have met the representative, and the representative tricked them so good and did whatever. But how should a man proceed with a woman? With a woman knowing that she's damaged? I said because Denise said they shouldn't.
It depends on how much. It depends on how much that man is willing to go, how far. Everybody got boundaries, but see, let me explain something. Real men, first of all, are gonna be patient. He's gonna give that woman time because he knows she's already damaged, and that he's going to try to love her into healing. So he's going to be patient. That's number one. The second thing, he's going to be persistent. He's going to be firm about how he is. He's not going to be dogmatic. He's not going to be hard on her, but he's going to be persistent, letting her know this is what it is. So he's going to be patient. He's going to be persistent. And watch this. He gonna treat her with precious. She gonna be precious. The Bible says to treat that woman as the weaker vessel. That means she's more precious than the man.
Come on, precious Jules.
See, that means he gonna handle her with more care. Look at that. So he gonna be patient. He gonna be persistent, but he gonna show enough view her as precious because she's damaged goods. and he trying to restore her back to her normal position of a loving woman.
Can we give the definition because somebody asked what is classified as damage, and then after we do that, can we touch on Denise says if she's damaged, she needs to fix herself. A man cannot fix what they didn't damage. No, they cannot fix what they did not damage. However,
there you go.
They can help you get past or be on the path to better, as they say. They can help you with your healing process if you allow them to. Because I would like for somebody to be patient with me if I know that I'm just on the brink of my breakthrough, and here he comes and he's willing to help me, then by all means, why not? No, a person cannot fix you, but don't allow them to not help you. Maybe that's some of our issues that we're talking about now. As far as damage, fellas, what would you classify? I mean, to me, basically, damage would be
she got let me tell you what damage look like. She might be toxic. Now, this is all from her living through her past trauma and can't let go of the past. She could have low self-esteem. She could be toxic. She could be living in a hole. She don't know her worth. She's allowed men to damage her. All of those things will result in a woman not knowing her worth and value, and she needs to heal. The only way she can do that is going internally, because a man is not your physical therapist, but God will bless you with the right man that'll help you heal.
A lot of people on here, Nick said damage has no definite. This is the same thing that basically Jimmy was going through.
I like the definition.
Damage has no definition because everyone is different. Definitely. And that's why when Jimmy just went through all of those, what damage could be. Somebody says patience, persistence, treat her with precious. That's right. What Shantae said, basically echoing.
Let me ask Denise a question. Denise said that her husband couldn't heal her from the trauma that her first husband caused. Were you completely healed before you remarried, Denise? Were you still dealing in the process of healing when you got married? And I can't really respond beyond say what I'm going to say until I hear that answer.
Yeah, if I'm no good for me, I ain't going to be good for you.
Absolutely. But if you're not 100% healed, I think what we're saying that is if we feeling you as a man and we see a future with you and we recognize that you are dealing with some past trauma, we will be more patient. And let me drop this caveat in here too, because I think sometimes we mistake being strong with being aggressive.
Right.
Because sometimes women are super aggressive and they call that strength. I don't think that's strength. You can have a strength without being aggressive. Am I on with?
Listen, a feminine energy woman has a silent strength.
Yeah. And with saying that, it's aggression that would cause me to not want to be with you. But if you're strong, I'll wait you out. You know what I'm saying? I'll do whatever it takes to be with you, especially if I'm feeling like, I can see a future with you. If a real man or a man can see a future with somebody, he'll wait you out. And because there's that whole myth that men are intimidated by strong women.
No,
that's not true. We
don't
want to deal with overly aggressive women. Huh?
No, what it is we rather not deal with a strong woman because she becomes insufferable. Mm-hmm. It's not that real men can't be. Well, how can a real man be intimidated by a female?
A real man.
A real man it's impossible for what is it to be intimidated about? These are the men that y'all are attracting and entertaining, and y'all are assuming they were real men because you have a real man. It's impossible for a real man to be intimidated by a female. It don't even make sense.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what they say now. They say y'all.
And watch this. What Jimmy just said a minute ago about how a real man adjusts. If you all raised your standard, guess what real men got to do?
Adjust. That's what's done happen. The women have
let me give an example to that. My most recent relationship, I remember when we first started dating, and this is just something small and minute. Our first date was going to a comedy show, and his normal wear was t-shirt, jeans, and J's. And I remember the day that he was like, I'm heading to the mall because I need to get me a button-down shirt and this and that, because I see the way you dress, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of right. And so in my mind, I was thinking, it didn't, if that's what you normally, wear, cool. But it just made me feel a different type of way that he was willing to go outside of his normal self to, in essence, I guess, match my swag, if that makes sense. So I guess I never thought about it that way until you just said they will make adjustments, or man will make adjustments to fit you. Or
if we want to be with you and you raise your standard, we're going to adjust. That's just point blank. But if you lower your standards, if you accept any old type of thing, if you accept, then we're gonna acquiesce to what you accept. If that makes sense.
You don't have, let me say this, women. If you don't have boundaries, if you don't have repercussions and consequences to a man's actions about you, you will allow a man to do anything and run over you. A healed woman has boundaries. She has borders. She has standards. She won't allow. See, she won't even entertain the type of men that a lot of women are talking about. Feminine women don't even have that problem. They don't even entertain it. They're not even dealing with that.
That's it.
So I'm trying to figure out where do y'all find these men y'all keep talking about? Where they at? Where do y'all get them from, women?
At the gas station. On the chip aisle. The Toms, the ones that's 99 cents.
I'm just saying, women, you got to have consequences for a man's behavior and action. You got to have boundaries, and you got to have circumstances for a man to be with you. So
basically, y'all trying to give us the blueprint to how to get us a man, but at first we got to make sure that we can show some type of. Well, yeah, but we got to make sure that we are attracting or attractive, and it has nothing to do with the way we're looking.
No,
it has to do with our feminine
character, attitude.
Yes.
Because femininity is. See, women think being feminine is a dress and makeup and heels. That ain't feminine. No. If you still so aggressive, you just a man in a dress.
Shantae said in the club.
Yeah, that's where a lot of these women be meeting these men in the club and think those men. They ain't no real men. Ain't finna be in no club all the time.
Let's see here. So Sharia, is it Sharia?
Uh-huh.
So what if I say I was in a relationship for 2 years with a man, trauma hits us, and he said he wasn't the same man after we lost everything. He came into some money and we ended just like that. So what's the?
I got the answer.
Okay.
Watch this. Everybody that come into our life ain't supposed to stay.
Good.
It's a reason, a season, or a lesson. Everybody is not the one. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So many women, baby, every man is not the one. It's a reason, a season, or a lesson when somebody come in y'all life. Y'all got to learn how to let go.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's real.
Everybody is basically saying so. He was never invested. He was never into you.
She wasn't the one. She just wasn't the one. Let's just call it for the one.
That's what it broke down.
A spade.
You just ain't the one.
Mm-hmm. Bernita said, Jimmy, how many women you got? Listen, Miss Bernita, let me speak for Mr. Jimmy on that. If Mr. Jimmy, if y'all women would act right, Mr. Jimmy would have him a woman, honey. Mr. Jimmy takes good care of the women that ain't his women, okay? Let me just put that out there. Y'all get right and go ahead and attract, give y'all feminine energy off. He gonna have him a woman and she gonna be well taken care of.
And I'm gonna tell you something. After 20 years of marriage, it's a different woman out here, man. And I'm like Jimmy on that, man. Why waste time? We had this conversation the other day. I mean, I told you point blank, I wouldn't dare waste my time on a lot of. I mean, I'm cool being by me. I can sit there with this laptop in my lap, watch TV, and go to work when I need to go to work.
Listen, be just I'm 35 and dating is different for me, so it's different to me. So
well, when I got married, they didn't have online dating yet.
I ain't nobody doing no online. Let me not knock anybody that does online dating. However, I need to see you. You can get the representative up close in person. I don't need no representative online. Then when you show up, I got to call Jimmy or James and say, can one of y'all come to this restaurant? Cause
hey, let me tell you something.
Get somebody here.
You got to park. You got to park across the parking lot. And then you got to sit in your car and look at them. So we wait until they get out the car. And then at the last second, if it's not what you like, then you got to be like, hey, look, something came up. I wasn't able to make it. And then
I ain't gonna be able to do it. Yeah, I ain't even calling. I'm just leaving. I'm not doing it.
Hey, filters and angles will fool you. I'm trying.
Ooh, baby.
I've been fooled and it ain't happening no more. So I've just decided I'm gonna wait. Hey, Denise says she met her current husband online and she's 10 years strong. And let's
Denise.
Let's
honey.
not look over what Denise said. Denise, I applaud you. I'm a
Denise and Miss Denise, baby. This a whole lot done changed in 10 years though.
But no, let me make this point about what I was saying about Denise, because I asked her earlier about did she get healed before she or did her, because I was trying to see if her husband was patient with her through that trauma. But Denise said she was completely healed prior to going into the relationship.
That's good. That's
good. Meant that she was willing to do the work.
That's good. And that's good.
And if
that's not what she said. That's not what she said. She said she was completely healed before she married.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I meant.
Before she married.
That's what I meant. So now let's clarify then, Denise. Were you healed before you married, or were you healed before you got into the relationship? Because when I said I was talking, I don't really acknowledge relationships too much until their marriage. I mean, I don't.
What?
I'm sorry. I mean, because I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people
test drive before you drive you buy the car.
I think a lot of people give away married privileges without being married.
This is true.
So I don't really me. That's just my philosophy ain't the only philosophy. Like I said, we can have a conversation.
Got it.
Yeah, both people can be right. But y'all leave me alone for real.
I don't believe in giving. Watch this. I don't believe in giving marriage benefits with girlfriend behavior.
No, no, you ain't got
that ain't how this goes.
So what you saying is you ain't paying bills if you ain't gonna pay their bills if they over here acting like a girlfriend.
I might help.
I'm not obligated. Listen to this. I'm not obligated to do.
You are not.
It's just watch this. It's if I do something for a woman, it's out the goodness of my heart and it's cause I chose to. I'm not obligated. I don't even want to put no pictures on Facebook unless we engaged or married. Ain't no
now
girl.
Listen, come on with that. Mr. James, she said before this moves, she said
I saw it.
Okay.
They dated 4 years prior to.
But she said before marriage we dated.
But were you healed before y'all started dating? That's the question, because I think that's what me and you were questioning.
I think she said she was.
I thought, yeah, okay, and that's what I thought she said too, because Ashley said, well, she said, so she was not healed before she started dating. So it does bring back the point. Yeah, I agree. No, but so you helped prove my point. Thank you. That's what I was trying to get to. Because whenever I ask a question, trust me, I've already thought about it.
I'm messing with you.
So my point is, because she was not healed yet, her current husband he saw a future with her. Mm-hmm. And because he saw a future with her, he was willing to be patient with her through the rest of the process of her healing.
But he was persistent and he viewed her as precious.
Yes.
He had to handle her with care because he knew what she had gone through.
Absolutely.
As a result of that man loved her back to her femininity, and that now is life everlasting. That's all we're saying.
That's the point. That's what I was trying to get to.
Give a man some type of, be accountable, women, with your mouth, your motive, and your mindset that will give that man some time where he can be patient with you. That's all we're saying.
Be transparent. Stacy said, this is one of my homeboys from North Little Rock, and Stacy came out moved to Dallas and has had a good life in Dallas. But he said, this is a man talking, ladies. He said, I've been married for 8 years and proposed after 6 months of dating. I just knew she was the one. He said, hell, I still get goosebumps when we stare at each other. When you are the one,
come on, Stacey.
We ain't gonna take all. It don't take all.
And a man, listen at this, women. Why a lot of these women around here with these men 5 and 6 and 7, 3 and 4 years
That's
talking about wait, baby. Let me say this to the women so y'all can understand this and you won't get caught up in this, baby. A man gonna know if you the one or not in 30 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 30 days, if that man ain't went to another level and adjusted, and that man ain't handling you different and respecting you and loving you and trying to understand your emotion and trying to listen to you in 30 days, baby, you are not the one.
Absolutely. And really, ladies, that's just a reality check. Because like I said, women, y'all, when we were younger, y'all played T and your fantasies and all those things, your cognitive skills are on point. So you have a way of painting this pretty picture of how you want this thing to be. And sometimes you paint people in the story that just aren't in the story. And when you recognize that he's not a character in your show, then it's time to cut ties and
let him go
and move on. And guess what? If he really wants to be a part of your life, he can't imagine life without you. And he won't let you leave like that. He'll make as Jimmy just said a few minutes ago, he'll make the necessary adjustments.
But now wait a minute. That man, let me say this. A real man will accept, if he really wants you, he will accept you the way you are, but he ain't gonna allow you to stay that way, baby. You're gonna have to grow. You're gonna have to get better. Your attitude, your mindset, your willingness to cooperate. Those are some things that have to improve if you want that man to be patient. See, that's a lot of times women y'all be so caught up in y'all pain, you can't even see that what the man is actually doing. You're not present. You're not presently available, and you miss it sometimes. And we all miss it. I'm not pointing the finger, but what I am saying is when a real man comes into your life, it's your responsibility to be present so you can acknowledge what that man is doing.
That's good, Jimmy. That's real good. What you think, Ashley?
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, right. Like you've never not ever had a chance to have nothing to say. Whatever. So let the men. I'm going to hear the men talk. Okay, Uncle Gerald. That's why I call Uncle Gerald. Gerald's my big brother. We go to church here.
Hey, Uncle Gerald.
We've been friends, I think, since 2002. I even wrote a paper about Gerald one time at school. I throw that up in his face all the time. When I was in school, we had to write about a mentor. But the reason I wrote about Gerald because Gerald's, like you see, he's been married for 36 years. He says he still get them goosebumps. Now they talk different on the west side of Atlanta.
He said 1 year he dated.
He said I still get them.
James, yeah. He said he only dated her for 1 year.
I'm getting there. I still get them goosebumps. And been married for 36 years. We dated for 1 year before marrying. And listen, but watch this. Like you got an example of 56 years of your parents. Gerald's parents are 88 and whatever respectively. And they've been married for 40, 50 years as well. So they saw good examples.
Right.
He saw a man be mean. He saw his daddy be a man. Right. He saw his woman. He saw his mother act like a lady. And being a lady is a lost art in these days. I mean, and so you see it in their heritage. You see it in his grandchildren. You see it in his own children, in the way his children take care of their children. You know what I'm saying? It all shows up. His parents have been together for 60 years. He just put in there, thank you, Gerald. And let's keep his parents in prayer. They're both in the hospital right now dealing with COVID. So we want to keep the Jennings family in our prayers. So if you believe in the power of prayer, when you get off to live tonight, and before you go to bed, whisper Mr. and Mrs. Jennings' name, and that's just pray.
Look what he said, James. Look what he said. He only dated his wife 1 year, and he popped. It's over with. I keep trying to tell women, baby, it don't take no man no 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to figure out if you the one, baby. If that man taking more than a year, you are not the one. I promise you that.
Let me
Absolutely.
ask this question. Do we think that the only way that a person can have longevity or even be well, I don't know what's the word I'm trying to get. Do you think that being able to see marriage inside of the home, seeing healthy relationships is the only way that people are able to be successful in their relationships? Do you
No,
think that's the only way?
no, not the only way, but it definitely helps. I think
Mhm.
it helps, but no, it's not the only way at all.
What it does is it sets a foundation.
Absolutely.
And it sets a proper foundation and a proper perspective of a man's role versus the woman's role as it relates to true submission. Submission only means to cooperate. We have today's society, don't nobody want to cooperate. Don't nobody want to submit to nobody. Everybody want the right person, but don't nobody want to be the right person for the person they claim they want.
And Gerald said something to it. I know his heart, so I know what he's saying when he says this. He said it's helpful, and the reason it's helpful is because the world has redefined relationships so much,
right?
And so heterosexual relationships are not the ones that are necessarily promoted. You know, of course, it's expected to an extent, but it's not necessarily promoted, right? We start seeing all of these other different types of relationships. I'm not going to say because I don't want to be attacked or whatever, but we understand. So we have to explain what's normal, and it's sad that we have to, because we have so many new normals. Does that make sense?
Right. Absolutely. I just wanted to pose that question because, you know, one may say, well, I didn't have to be in a 2-parent household with married parents in order to know, and I guess that's where it goes to breaking those, those cycles or those generational curses, because, everybody didn't grow up with Big Mama and Granddaddy. Everybody saw different things as it relates to what type of relationships they had. I think we touched on this at one point in time where they had relationships that were lasting a long time, but there may have been some other things that they didn't, necessarily like. And we're not saying that you have to, pick up on those things. However, I just wanted to ask that question. Do we have to actually go ahead?
That's a good question. That's a real good question. And as to piggyback your question, the gap came because we didn't want to teach what grandmama and mama and them taught us.
That's womanhood. That's called womanhood. See, a lot of women miss the rites of passage to womanhood because they were taught to be a worker bee. See, women, they don't worry about no relation. This is what grandma and mama and them taught them. Don't worry about no man. Get your grades, get your degree, get you a good job, be an independent woman. And what that has done has placed women outside the realm of a relationship.
That's cool. That's good.
Let me say this as it relates to the independency, because one can use their own definition of what independence looks like to them, because your mother can be telling you, yeah, you got to get out here and get it on your own because you're by yourself, but she may not be in essence telling you to be so dang on independent that you can't get a man. It's the interpretation of it, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with the people that are teaching us as we're growing up. It's what society has deemed as what independency looks like. I'm out here, I'm getting a bag, I'm doing this, I don't need no man, I'm doing it. I can secure my bag, but I want his bag too. Right. I need him.
But now a lot of times grandma and them were venting through their past trauma too.
Absolutely. That's true.
Listen to that. A lot of time grandma and them passed that on to y'all because of what they weren't able to do.
That's good. That's good.
And I keep saying that a lot of y'all, a lot of single women's mothers have all but ruined their chances to be in a relationship with a man, because the man is going to be the leader in a covenant. It does not mean you're going to be a doormat, but you have to be willing to cooperate. And independence without being interdependent is chaos to a man.
And let me say this again. You've heard me repeat this in the past, and I'm gonna repeat it again. When Willie Lynch wrote his letter and talking about how to break the Negro slave, He told her, he said, out of frozen fear, she will raise her daughter to be psychologically independent, but she raises her son to be mentally weak but physically strong. Women are raised inadvertently, advertently, whatever, to be psychologically independent. And with them being psychologically independent, it takes them out of the realm of what he said of wanting to build your own family. You've gone on to do your own thing now.
And also, like what Denise is saying, dispel the narrative. We have to be the backbone. We didn't never want the black woman to be the backbone. A man is supposed to be strong for you. You're not supposed to be strong. The man is supposed to be strong for you. Now, I understand that we have the men are weak now. They're effeminate. They don't know their identity. They don't know who they are. See, this is the problem with our men today. They're being raised by single women. A lot of men, they don't have a father, so they're searching for an identity. Okay, so that's another issue. It's not just the woman. Look at what's happening to the men. It's a twofold issue. It's not singled out.
Absolutely. And we just so happen to be mainly discussing women. Trust me, the men are coming. People like Gerald Jennings, people like Jimmy. That mean we're gonna. Those are great examples to talk to young men. And what I'm encouraged to see tonight, and Ashley, I know you are as well, to see so many men that are commenting in the comment section.
You know, I love that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Avery just said that we've lost the art of cooperation. And we've been talking about that, Avery. If you just came on, we've been talking about how can we put ourselves in a position where we can start to cooperate. Because if there's ever going to be reconciliation, there has to be cooperation in our communities. That's what has to happen.
Look what Denise said, James. Look what Denise said.
Now. I'm putting it up right now. Our sons. Go ahead.
She said that our sons are products of our poor choices in men. Yep. And that statement is so profound because let me say this, women. Look, I'm going to say this and it's going to hurt. You might as well put on your big girl panties. A lot of y'all, watch this. A lot of y'all have had men that didn't want you and didn't care if you had a baby or not. He wanted a raw sexual encounter. That's the only thing he wanted out of you. He didn't care if you had no baby. He was irresponsible when he came. And then you run the child support talking about he irresponsible. Baby, he was irresponsible when he met you, but because a lot of times you wanted what you wanted, you didn't see the red flags, you lied to yourself. Now here we go with the wrong man, and now all men are dogs. No, all men are not dogs. All the men you are picking are doggish. So the question becomes, what is it about a lot of women that entertain no good men? We're not saying that the men are not. We're not saying they not no good. It's a lot of low down.
We agree. Yeah, we agree.
Dogs. But my question to the women is, why are y'all entertaining them? What is it about y'all? You see, it's not who you attract, it's who you entertain. You let the man in your bedroom. Why did you not heed the red flags?
Wow.
A lot of times, I feel as though, and this goes back to what we talked about earlier, we don't give enough time for the representatives to show up.
Patience.
And so what happens is the representative doesn't show up within the first 2 or 3 weeks.
No.
Maybe not even the first 2 or 3 months. But in between that, the probation, if they even at your job, they give you 90 days to show out. Wow. So why not? Why can't we give them 90 days to at least show out before we decide we want to go and, lay it out? I know we all be in, situations where, I can't say we get caught up in a moment because I feel like I make a conscious decision on when I'm getting ready to sleep with somebody. So I can't say we get caught up in a moment, but we use that as an excuse. And so we don't give enough time for the representatives to show up. And then by that time, we've
committed.
We've done a lot of things. We done gave it all from.
Now watch this. I always tell women to do these 3 things. You might need to post this, James. close your legs, control your emotion, and crown your heart.
Close your legs.
Close your legs. This is when you trying to get to see if the man is really serious about you and you not in a rush. Close your legs, control your damn emotion, because you need to control your emotion. A lot of times your emotion get out of control once the man blow in your ear and tell you he love you. Here we go. And crown your heart. That mean be that feminine, loving woman with some boundaries and some consequences for a man doing the wrong thing, talking the wrong way, and showing you the wrong thing. You gotta close. If you close, baby, y'all will quit getting hurt. If you close your legs, control your emotion, and crown your heart, ain't no way that man gonna be able to get to you.
Exactly. And if we want you, we gonna wait. If we want you, we are willing to wait. I mean, that if let me tell you something, we stick when you. I mean, who plays it? You can't play spades until spades lead, right? And sometimes we leading with the trump card up front, and you're giving away your whole card up front. And what's left?
Who said clink clink?
What's left after you've given away the most precious part? What should be the most precious, but now we're using it as a bargaining chip.
And we giving it out like hotcakes.
Giving it out like candy corn.
Let me say this right quick. Women out here acting like they don't be prostituting themselves. Ladies, listen, when we be using that thing as a bargaining tool, we have prostituted ourselves. That's all we out here doing. And it's a high dollar form of prostitution.
You're gonna make them not like you, Ashley. You keep
wait, Ashley.
I'm trying to help the people.
And not only that, it's gonna watch this. Every time they prostitute themselves, it's 4 things they gonna happen, and it's called the 4 L's. He gonna lick you, lay you, lie to you, and leave you all at one time. Listen to that. He gonna lick you, lay you,
make you feel real good.
Sure enough, lie to you. Gonna lie good to you, because we know that a lot of black women love to be lied to.
I'm about to holler.
And then he gonna leave because he did not like you. He licked you, laid you, lied to you, and left you because he did not like you.
Wow. I'm about to holler, Jimmy. So Ashley, here I'm about to holler. I'm about to bust out. So Ashley.
Yes.
So after this probationary period, because you brought up a good point. The representative don't show up in the first week, might not show up in the first month. Job gives you at least a 90-day probation.
90 days.
Here's the question, ladies. Y'all in the I think we got an equal number of men and women tonight, but here's the question. If the representative does not show up for 6 months, are you willing to walk away from the relationship once the representative shows up?
She should bow out gracefully.
No, I'm asking the women, Jimmy. I'm asking the women right now.
I have.
Take you a sip out that cup right quick. I'm about to drink some water.
I have. You want me to answer? You want me to let the ladies answer? I have.
Both of y'all do it.
Because, and I remember having a conversation with Jimmy about this.
What did I teach you, Ashley?
First of all, we formulated a whole darn message, okay? And I went to Jimmy because I needed a male perspective.
Hold on.
And I needed a male perspective.
Hold on. Denise needs a definition. I'm sorry. Denise needs a definition of what the representative are we're talking about.
The representative is the person that I bring and show. I'm showing you one person, but that's not who I really am.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm gonna get you in there, then I'm gonna change.
I'm gonna be who you want me to be to get in between your legs. Let's call it what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Now go ahead and answer the question.
And let me say this before I go into that. A lot of times we give them the blueprint to be the representative because we be talking and telling them everything that they need to know.
Right.
So let me say that.
Taking all the clues.
Yeah. So I contacted Jimmy and was talking to him about, this, situation or whatever. And so one of the things that, I wanted to know, in my mind, I was asking direct questions, but Jim was like, that's too convoluted. So the question that I asked specific questions. This is what I want. Is this what you want? So just to wrap it up, this is what I want. Is this what you want? That joker I haven't gotten a response to today. Okay.
And you know
Nothing.
why? And you know why? It's because we don't like to try to figure nothing out. Y'all try. A lot of women try to make men figure it. We don't want to figure nothing out.
Nope.
We when we ask
Nope.
you what it is, we don't need you to start trying to process and try to figure it out because you've been lied to by so many men. When the man say this is what it is, you take it for what it is,
Take
and
it
that's
for what
why
it's
it's called Ashley. Ashley, quit beating around the bush. Ask that man direct questions because that's the only thing we understand. We don't understand all that old beating around. Well, what you thinking? How do you feel? And what about that? We don't care nothing about that. What is the question?
Yeah, that's my softly side.
Yeah. So,
I be trying to coddle it.
ladies, are you willing to leave?
He said, "Don't beat around the bush. Ask him."
Oh,
Sue Ann says she's willing to leave if that representative show up later on because, and the reason I ask that question is because if you're 6 months in, and I think how a lot of women think, and I'm not, a lot of them think that I've invested 6 months of my time, so I don't want to feel like I've wasted my time. I'd rather find out before getting married or before being in a 10-year relationship that never leads to marriage. You know what I mean? I see people together 10, 15 years living together, playing the role of marriage, common law, whatever you want to call it. Huh?
I'm not doing it.
Having babies together, all those type of things. But y'all got different last names.
Now, let me give y'all this one too, Mr. James.
Okay.
The way that we don't waste our time is if we can date multiple people. If people really date and not go into every situation like it's a relationship,
That's my
and
point.
people might look at me like I'm crazy when I say this. If I am dating multiple people, I can do a process of elimination. I might not end up with anybody after 90 days, but I have not wasted a whole lot of time on one person. And dating, let's also do this. Dating has nothing to do with having sex.
right.
It has nothing to do with you coming over to my house. It has nothing to do with that. It is strictly me finding out things that I need to know in order to know if I want to proceed or cut this thing off.
Women need to be dating more than one
And
person.
men do it all the time. See, y'all be thinking that men be cheating on us. They don't be cheating, they be
We
dating.
looking for the
Now,
one. We trying to
this is the
find the
thing.
one.
This is the difference between that
That's
though.
my point.
If
That's my
everybody
point.
if everybody knows up front, then it should not be a problem.
And let me say this. This is the point. If you're dating with purpose, listen at that. If you learn how to date with purpose, you'll eliminate a lot of these men y'all keep on complaining about. You have to date with purpose. There's a purpose. You're trying to see if we're compatible, if we can coexist and cohabitate, if we're really willing to come together and submit to each other. You're dating with purpose. But if you just dating because you want some, and you dating because you want a man to take care of you, or you dating because you don't want to be by yourself, baby, you setting yourself up for failure right off the top.
Absolutely. This conversation has been good. I hope everybody is really, really enjoying the conversation. I hope it's helping because we really fell into this on an accident. You know what I mean? We tried something and it worked, and it's
Sharia says she don't date.
I'm gonna put it up.
Let me
So Miss Watkins.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. She said she don't date, she's scared. Miss Watkins. And I've told my friends this. How do you ever expect to be found by a man if you don't? What's going to happen? Are you just help me understand what it is that you're doing? Do you want to forever be single, or how are you supposed to be Lord Jesus?
Well, let me say this first. The scripture says that God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but love, power, and a sound mind. Now, let me say that I'm gonna break that down where we can understand that. So that fear is Miss Watkins. Miss Watkins' fear is a spirit. Listen at that. That does not come from God. God gave you the power for love, power, and the ability for a sound mind. That means to make right decisions. You have it in you. You have to let go of those fears and those limited beliefs so you can get what God has for you. You see that, Miss Watkins, and we just talking. You got to come out of that fear because that's a spirit. Okay.
Shantae said Jimmy said they will find you. Yeah, but they can't find you if you not.
They not gonna find you and you in a hole. They not
Yeah.
gonna find you in between a chimney. You in the bed. Watch this. You in the bed with your rose and your bullet and your laptop and your ice cream and your bag of chips. Ain't no man gonna find you like that. That ain't how that go.
But they will use your bullet, your rose on you once y'all get to that point. Let me just put that.
But he
your rose.
He got to
and your
find
bullet.
Hey, but I leave. Could we not agree that a lot of that fear will leave once the healing really takes place? Because they both have. I mean, Sue Ann said the same thing. She's scared to get back out there as well. And Sharia, Miss Watkins is saying the same thing. But
they need to heal. That's
the point I'm saying.
They need to heal.
The reason that they are afraid now is because they haven't gone through the complete process of healing. And healing, and I think once they become healed, then they will feel more comfortable getting out there, right? And that fear will dissipate. That fear will leave.
Right.
Well, yeah, Sharia did say she's trying to still heal, so I get that part.
And both of them know the Lord. I know Sharia's, like she just said, she's a PK, and I know Suann both know.
But James, everybody keep talking about what women need to heal, but ain't nobody ever taught women how to heal. And so I need to just address that in 30 seconds. First of all, how you heal is you have to go internally. You have to face your fears. You have to forgive your foes. You have to have the faith to move forward. Listen at that. You have to go internally and face your fears, forgive your foes, the people that hurt you, and you have to forgive yourself, and then you have to forge forward. You have to let go of you can't get to the future until you let go of the past. You have to change the story if you want to receive God's glory. And the way you heal, I'm going to say it again, you have to go internally on a daily basis to face your fears, forgive your foes, forgive yourself, and forge forward to release the fear.
That's good. That's good. Go ahead. You got something? Go ahead.
Thank you, Shantae, honey, for putting that up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it again.
I didn't want to tape it fast. I just can't.
Yeah, you have to go intern. Women, you are an emotional creature. We are too, but you were geared toward emotion. So in order to fix yourself, you have to deal with your emotional state. So you have to go within to face your fears, forgive your foes, those the men that hurt you, and forgive yourself. And then you make a decision to forge forward by faith, knowing that God has forgiven you, you forgave yourself, and that there is a man waiting on you just the way you are. It's a man, baby, it's a man waiting on you to come out of that fear so you can be his fiance, sweetie.
That's good. That's good. Hey, if y'all ladies and men, if y'all are enjoying the conversation, do me a favor, drop a heart in the chat. Just let me see that y'all let show us some love. Let us know that Jimmy and Ashley are adding some good, valuable information to your life that you think you can use to help start trying to do this whole process of healing. Thank you, Shantae. Drop a heart in the chat for me, please, and let me know that this conversation is helping you. We're getting close. It's almost 12 o'clock. We've been on for 2 hours. So I don't know. Yeah, man, I can keep going. I don't have to go to work in the morning. Y'all the ones that got jobs.
I just want the women. I just want all black women to know.
Drop a heart, ladies.
I just want all black women to know that real men love you. We want to see you in your best self. We want to invest in you so you can obtain your dreams. We want to love on you so you can be that dynamic, resilient, interdependent, not independent, resilient, and not strong. We just want you to be the best version. But baby, y'all got to cooperate with real men, not the men you chose to entertain. You got to let that man go. You got to change your story in your mind. You have to have a new story. You can't keep talking about what the men were, how they did, and what they did to you. You got to change the story in your mind so you can get to the man that God has for you.
That's good. That's good. Hey, so we're going to start winding it down. Listen, of those of you all that are a part of the conversation, hold on. I wish these conversations were around 30 years ago before I got married. Man, I appreciate that, Avery. Excellent views and points. We're going to do this every week, y'all. Every week at 10 o'clock. Next week, I think we're going to start dealing with the men. We've already started that conversation. So, brothers, Avery, Gerald, Anthony, Stacy, I'm gonna need real men on next week. And if you got younger brothers, younger nephews, younger cousins, anybody, get them to the live, and let's get them some of this good information as well. Now, you see, Jimmy and I have our uniforms on tonight. We have our t-shirts on the path to better. If you want to get your shirt on the path to better,
Baby,
feel free. That's my Cash App on the screen. Shantae, we will bring some of them on, but they gotta want to come on too, Shantae. We ask them, but they gotta want to come on too. But yeah, if you all are interested in a shirt on the path to better, just go ahead and Cash App me. It's $20 for a shirt, $5 for shipping and handling, and I will get that to you. We are pushing the message on the path to better, and we want all of us to perpetually get better. Ed Menifee, we're gonna need you on this conversation as well next week as well. But we want you all to go ahead and reach out to us. Let us know you want a shirt. I'll get those in the mail. Those people that ordered from me last week, I have your shirts. I will send them out tomorrow. If anybody else wants to get an order in, I'll get those out as well. Jimmy, I appreciate you, man. God continues to use you, and you continue to share insight with the people, and we're all appreciative. Ashley, I am super, super appreciative. I thank God for your wisdom in such a young lady, and your perspective and your willingness to be honest and transparent. And to everybody that's a part of this, and some of y'all are here every week. Shantae, you're here every week. Denise, you're here every week. Sharia, you're starting to come. All of y'all keep being a part. Come to go to visit my website, theintellectualstew.com, and let's go ahead and try to create this community, and let's build this community. If we can share enough nuggets, somebody's going to listen, and somebody's going to share that information, and then we can do what the Bible talked about when it said be salt, right? And if we're salt and light, we can start doing some things creatively to start to fix this community. So please, ma'am, please, sir, continue to share this information. Meet us here next week at 10 o'clock. We'll have the topic out specifically. Some of you guys, I'm going to be reaching out to you and asking you to come on and be a part of the conversation. Ashley, did I leave anything out?
you got it, dude.
Let me say this, women, we need y'all to start coming on, because listen, me and James and Ashley, we have conversations all the time. I'm gonna give you an example. We're gonna start talking about why men cheat. God gave me a revelation of why men cheat. I'm gonna teach women why men do what they. It's not because a man is necessarily a bad guy. A lot of times he was not taught self-discipline. He wasn't taught how to keep his penis in his pants.
Absolutely.
He wasn't taught how to be disciplined. He wasn't taught how to be faithful to himself. A man got to be faithful to himself before he can be faithful to you.
Absolutely. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. We had a good time tonight. We're over about 2 minutes. We got started at 10 o'clock. We're through at 12:02. And look, man, it's still 11 people in the chat, and some of them still have liked it. This is great. I appreciate y'all for hanging around for so long. But I got a question for you, and I like to end all my shows with this question right here. The world is changing. Why do you remain the same? Y'all have a good week and a good night. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Love y'all.